As the 2021 college football season gets kicked off this week, college football is not college football without upsets, and whether you like it or not, this weekend we will be seeing upsets in college football. And in this video, I'll be giving you guys the matchups that are most likely to feature upsets in week one of this 2021 college football season. So that being said, what does having a game on Upset Watch mean? This is a brand new series here on the All Sports Central channel. So here's what you can expect in this series of videos. Games that are featured on Upset Watch are the most likely games to feature. The unfavored team beat the favored team. So obviously, if Miami were to beat Alabama this weekend, that would be considered an upset. Games that have a spread of 5 or lower are unlikely to be on Upset Watch, just because if you had a matchup where the spread is 5 or lower, usually if we do see the team that is unfavored win, it wouldn't really be considered much of an upset, just because, it wouldn't be too unexpected if the unfavored team would win. So if the spread is 5, or you could say 6 or higher, they're likely to be on this video if I do think there's a possibility of the games being an upset. But yeah, just because I predict the favorite team will win in a matchup doesn't mean the game can't be on Upset Watch. And in short, the games that are most likely to have unexpected outcomes will be on this list. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. We got 8 matchups on this video here today that I think could potentially be upsets this weekend. And once again, that doesn't mean that they will be, but I do think that these are the most likely ones to feature upsets. So Boise State and UCF is one of them. Boise State comes into this matchup, obviously, after kind of a down 2020 season. They did end up finishing out as second in the Mountain West, just behind San Jose State. But Boise State looks to be, once again, a good team and definitely a contender in the Mountain West heading into this upcoming season. So they could be a good team. UCF could also be a good team. However, in this matchup, UCF is currently favored by 6. But I think Boise State definitely poses a threat in this matchup. Like, this was a tough one to predict between Boise State and UCF, because I could easily see both teams winning this matchup. The main reason why I've got UCF in this matchup is just because they're at home. I've got them 55%. But if Boise State, for example, was at home in this matchup, I would pick the Broncos over UCF. So it's going to be very close, very interesting matchup here coming up on Thursday night. As for the next one, we got North Carolina and Virginia Tech, also a game to watch out for. The line is at 5.5 towards North Carolina, so both teams are pretty close in the spread, but North Carolina is currently favored. But this game is in Blacksburg, so Virginia Tech is the home team in this matchup, so I do think they keep it pretty close. I think North Carolina still wins, 55% towards them, but I do expect it to be much closer than what some experts are saying. And overall, I think Virginia Tech definitely keeps it close in this matchup, but I'm still going to predict North Carolina to win. But be on the lookout for this one. This would be a major upset if Virginia Tech did win, because, if you think about it, North Carolina has been so hyped up this past off season, rightfully so, with Sam Howell and everyone. But I do think that we do see North Carolina get the win, but once again, it's going to be close. Next up, we got Alabama and Miami. This would be insane if Miami won this matchup. That would be quite a way to kick off the football season. Alabama, of course, was the national champion last year, and they're the dynasty in college football right now. They're favored by 19.5, which was a very that kind of surprised me, seeing Alabama as favored as they were. I think Miami is going to be a very good football team. Derek King, really like him as a quarterback, and Miami's got a lot of talent coming back. This is a very experienced Miami team. And Alabama, I'm going to be honest, they're pretty inexperienced this upcoming season. So if Alabama wins the title this season coming up here in 2021, expect them to win again in 2022 and 2023, just because of how young this Alabama football team is. But Miami, I do think Miami keeps it closer than expected. I do think Alabama wins at 65%. So I'm still confident that the Tide do win it, but it could be close. Miami is going to keep it close, I think, for a good chunk of this game. We also got San Jose State and USC. Not many people are talking about this one, but USC is also a favorite team to win the Pac-12. San Jose State is going to keep it close. Of course, last season they won the Mountain West. They lost a little bit of talent after that season, and they're not looking quite as good heading into 2021. But I do think San Jose State does pose a threat here. They'll keep it close. I think they keep it close in this matchup. I would not take USC by 14. I think San Jose State could keep it within a touchdown probably. And I'm going to still say 60% towards USC, but it will be a close matchup. Next up, we got Oregon State and Purdue. I'm actually predicting an upset in this matchup. Purdue is the home team. They're favored by 7. But I'm going to take Oregon State. I think the Beavers do go into West Lafayette, and they're going to get the win against Purdue, 55%. So I think it's going to be a pretty close game. It could easily go either way for sure. I mean, this is going to be one of the closer matchups of this week one. But I think Oregon State does end up getting the win. They're going to get the upset over Purdue. Purdue right now, I mean, they're just in a messy situation at the quarterback position and overall. I think Oregon State they'll be a decent team this football season, so I'll take them in this matchup. Louisiana and Texas, also another very intriguing matchup. You got Louisiana on one side. This is a Louisiana team that was pretty underrated last year. They were actually ranked for a decent chunk of last season, and they were one of the better teams in the Sun Belt. But Texas on the flip side, I mean, they got Hudson Card. It looks like he's going to be the starter. And overall, this is a younger Texas team, but they've got a tremendous amount of upside. So I'm going to still take Texas, 55%, but I do think it'll be close for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if Louisiana did win. I mean, it would be insane if Louisiana won, but I would not be surprised if it did happen. We also got Notre Dame and Florida State. Watch out for Florida State. Mackenzie Milton is in town now for the Seminoles, and Florida State actually could be a decent team this football season. I could see them getting up to 6 to 8 wins. So Florida State, that is a team to watch out for, and I do think they keep it close against Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by 7.5 right now, but it also is in Tallahassee, so do be on the lookout for that. That is definitely something to watch out for. Once again, I think Notre Dame gets the win, but Florida State, this is probably the most likely major upset in this week of college football. Was if Florida State did beat Notre Dame. And lastly, we got Ole Miss and Louisville. Ole Miss is favored by 10 here, and I think this is a Louisville team that could keep it very close in this matchup. I'm still saying Ole Miss 60%, but I do think, once again, I would not be surprised if we saw Louisville get the upset here over a Rebel team, which they've been kind of inconsistent. Like, heading into this 2021 season, I think Ole Miss definitely has got major potential. Like Matt Corral, very underrated quarterback, but I do think, once again, Ole Miss gets the win, but it could be closer than expected. So that being said, we're set up for my week one upset alert for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on these matchups and what upsets do you guys think will happen in week one, because believe it or not every favorite team is going to win this weekend. We will be seeing a couple of big upsets, potentially, which a couple of them could be on this list here today. So that being said, I do appreciate you guys all watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I'll see you guys later.